Greetings, class. Today is Tuesday, last day of March here. And today's song of the day comes from Redbone. The song is Come and Get Your Love. This is from the Wovoka album from 1973. And if you've never heard of this band, you might have heard of this song. This band is really unique because in the 70s, when people were wearing Native American headdresses as kind of ornamentation or fashion, this was a band of Native Americans who kind of took the stage and took back the idea that you would wear these things as fashion and they were wearing it as culture, and they could also rock and roll. So our word of the day for today is clemency. This is a word that has some legal ramifications and was one of the top words in 2019 for Google searches. Clemency, when writing about someone who had a sentence given to them, it's a criminal court case, and they would receive clemency if somebody shortened their sentence. The willingness or ability to moderate the severity of punishment, such as a sentence, or an act or instance of mercy, compassion, or forgiveness. So that's our word of the day, clemency. Let's kind of go through this week, March 30th through April 5th. So again, we're not meeting synchronously, but I wouldn't mind actually trying to do a Thursday synchronous meeting at 8 o'clock. Are you interested in that? Maybe you want to see your classmates. Maybe you want to talk about this project, which is a little bit of a technical challenge. If there's some interest, we can try it. If there's not, then we'll dump it. All right, so you have a few things to do this week. Number one is to read in your textbook, chapter 11, Writing for Broadcast. Okay, it's not that long of a chapter, but some of the concepts are going to be a little bit different than what you've been doing so far in this class. Your second thing is to review the key broadcast terms. Those are at the end of the chapter. Again, if anybody has trouble getting this textbook, let me know. The library has worked out a way for you to get e-textbook copies of this. So your second thing is reviewing the key broadcast terms. Third thing is reviewing the key types of broadcast shots. And I have a link that will kind of show you all the different shots. If you've taken film appreciation, you'll be familiar with a lot of these shots. And this is kind of one of the fun things about this chapter, is that you can explore the visual aspect of the communication and communicating clear, brief, and accurate information. But using the different types of shots helps keep attention to the story that you might be building visually. Extreme close-ups, your close-ups, medium close-up, medium shot, cutaway shot, another cutaway shot. And it can also provide either contrast with the visual and the audio, or it could provide a combined impact with the visual and audio. So review those types of broadcast shots. Then I have a presentation for you. Now, part of it is kind of like a worksheet. So when you get to that portion of the broadcast writing presentation, have a piece of paper out or open a Word doc and then try rewriting some of the practice sentences as broadcast style leads. Your main audience when you're writing for broadcast is going to be the anchor or the person who's reading your broadcast script. So you have that primary audience of the person who's reading, and then your secondary audience as the person that is being communicated to by the anchor. So you're kind of going through these two layers of audience. The three main concepts are still the same. You're being clear, you're being accurate, and you're being brief. That's the fourth thing, viewing the broadcast presentation. The fifth thing is exploring discussion question 2. You could contact another classmate and discuss this, or you could just kind of think about it, free write about it. You don't have to turn anything in regards to that. And then I'm asking you to watch your local news. So with this, you're thinking about tuning into your local news, especially if you're a communications writer or if you're in marketing or advertising. Of course, it's a huge spot of advertising as well. But you want to be tuned into that so you can have a better feel of what's going on in your community. Okay, so that's an easy one. You just tune into the 10 o'clock and try to name certain types of stories. Try to see, evaluate what are they doing. Think critically about how the stories are written. Examine the leads. Some of them are super corny and some are super fun. Then I want you to watch 2 examples of a package story. These are from Ms. Boy-Hubert. He's done some teaching too when it comes to how do you create a broadcast story. His stories don't follow a typical broadcast story script. They're called feature stories. They're longer, similar to the feature stories that you read. So he has more time to go in depth because he's been pretty good about what he's done. He's really honed his skill. I'm also asking you to watch a documentary style video from the Star Tribune. This is cool to see the contrast in the two when it comes to shooting and editing. And finally, I'm asking you to write a broadcast package and then shoot it. And you're gonna upload your script to the Dropbox. So that's one part of the assignment. The other part is shooting a video of you doing a stand-up, reading the script, and then uploading the video to YouTube. If you want to edit it, you can, and then upload it, and then just post it to the forum. Now, when you upload to YouTube, remember that you don't have to make it public. So it wouldn't be something that everybody can find. You can make it unlisted. Once you upload it, you can choose to make it unlisted. And it doesn't have to be elaborate, but if you want to work with another student or 2 or 3 students, maybe one of you wants to edit and one of you wants to write. Maybe one of you wants to shoot at their house themselves, doing kind of like, I'm the news anchor at the desk, and then I'm going to kick it out to a reporter who's out there. You could do it that way as well. I think I have one example for you of a student who did this a couple years ago and focused on dogs. It went a little bit long, but it was overall, it was just kind of fun, good example. There are many great ideas you could explore with this assignment. My hope is that this would be a fun assignment. This feels like, overwhelming, or you're already stressed out and this is just causing you so much stress. Just send me an email and then let's talk about it, or let's connect on Thursday, and maybe partnering you up with somebody will help kind of alleviate some of that stress. So I am working on grading your work. I'll be working on that more later today and tomorrow, and then getting some feedback to you at that point. I have a couple things that have come through, and we have a couple of family members in the hospital, so we're trying to deal with that. But once that kind of gets settled, we'll be cracking down and going through a lot of those grades. I hope you're doing well. I hope this video is a little bit helpful in getting started for this week, and perhaps I'll see you on Thursday.